Like not just a general everyday pull out of the ditch. This needs 2 trucks.
This is a big day for me. Let's see what I'm made of.
Backup is already on the way.
This is my first outing with the rotator as the lead operator of it.
And the newest addition to Unique's fleet.
We've tested her out in the training. Let's see if she's field ready.
A 65-ton rotator.
That's the ultimate toy to have. It makes a big difference.
But even as lead op, David wasn't eager to run the new record.
No, I like my truck. I know that no matter what it is, where it is, my truck's got more than enough muscle to do just about whatever I needed to do out on the side of the road.
So the rotator went to Randy Dixon, and it's time to see if weeks of training have paid off.
Using the rotator out on the highway, it's a little more stressful than it is when you're training on it in the yard. You get a whole different sense of urgency.
He doesn't have the experience that I do, but he's ready and willing to learn on it.
Let's hope everything goes well. It's a big learning curve because you're dealing with something just a little bit out of your expertise level.
Randy's first step is simple enough.
From there, I want to come underneath here.
Pull the semi up so they can drag the pickup out.
We're going to put a couple straps around the back, a couple straps around the front of the trailer. You're going to have to be the one holding that trailer upright, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, pull it. There you go. Randy! You can start. Careful, Randy. She's coming.
With the angle that the truck was sitting on, when Randy put a little pressure on it, it actually just started to lift itself right up.
There she goes. You're good. There you go.
So far, so good. Now the tricky part is coming. Get it back up here without it going back over again.
David will winch the semi forward, while Randy supports the fully loaded trailer, carefully rotating the boom in unison with David to keep the semi upright. This maneuver will be a real test of Randy's new skills.
Can you boom up and turn at the same time?
Okay.
You just want to try to keep your boom rolling with it, right?
Okay.
As it comes up. Okay?
Yep.
Here we go. All right.
Randy has to follow me because if I pull too fast or he moves too fast, you could lose it.
Randy, put your boom up.
If Randy doesn't keep up with David's pull, the tension wrenching on his boom could cause serious damage to the new rotator.
It could break it apart. It could injure somebody.
She's not moving too well. Geez, there's a lot of pressure on that thing. Whoa. Randy! Hey! Hey!
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, windy with a possible thunderstorm. High 92, chance of rain 30%. Higher wind gusts possible. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 59. Friday, mainly sunny. High 88. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
With my hepatitis C, I felt I couldn't be at my best for my family. In only 8 weeks with Maverick, I was cured and left those doubts behind.
I faced reminders of my hep C every day, but in only 8 weeks with Maverick, I was cured.
Even hanging with friends, I worried about my hep C, but in only 8 weeks with Maverick, I was cured.
Maverick is the only 8-week cure for all common types of hep C. Before starting Maverick, your doctor will test if you've had hepatitis B, which may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV-1, or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Don't take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin, or if you've had certain liver problems. Common side effects include headache and tiredness.
With hep C behind me, I feel free.
Fearless.
And there's no looking back, because I am cured.
Talk to your doctor about Maverick.
Bayer presents Outdone Yourself. Staining be done and stay done through every season.
Done.
As well, and that goes until 11 o'clock for tonight. Mike Bettis just in the house, as well as Mark Elliott, continuing coverage after this.
Bayer presents Outdone Yourself. Staining be done and stay done through every season.
Done. Done. Done, 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 done. Done.
Bayer semi-transparent stain, overall #1 rated. Stay done for years to come. Find it exclusively at the Home Depot.
Searching for a beach vacation? Find it at Verbo. They search millions of homes to find your perfect beach house, where you all find your own rooms and some quality time to find out about each other. From beach houses to cabins to condos, find vacation homes that match you with Verbo.
Imagine traveling hassle-free with your golf clubs. Now you can with ShipSticks.com. No more lugging your clubs through the airport or risk having your clubs lost or damaged by the airlines. Sending your own clubs ahead with ShipSticks.com makes it fast and easy to get to your golf destination. With just a few clicks or a phone call, we'll pick up and deliver your clubs on time, guaranteed, for as low as $39.99. ShipSticks.com saves you time and money. Make it simple. Make it ShipSticks.
This is uncharted territory. A Peloton boot camp where elite instructors and live metrics put every muscle to work. Where it's you versus everyone else. With live classes every single day. Take your total body workout where it's never gone before. Home. Introducing the Peloton Tread.
Abigail, we can escape to the north. Will you leave with me?
20 million members have connected to a deeper family story. Get started for free at Ancestry.com.
Dollar Shave Club. Dollar and Deodorant Now Too Club. Dollar and of course Shampoo Club. Dollar Even Toothpaste Club. Dollar Bath Jerky Club? Probably not. Dollar way more than just Shave Club.
Want to create your new patio before you get your new patio? With the Home Depot, you can jumpstart your spring with the latest power and the best grills around. Get free delivery and pull that new patio together with everything from furniture to spill-proof cushions. It's spring, and today is the day for doing. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing.
There's a bunch of whole almonds in every bar of Hershey's milk chocolate with almonds. Don't believe us? See back for details.
You're starting. Hi everyone and welcome in. This is Weather Underground extended coverage here as we keep you up to date on severe weather. I'm Mike Bettis.
I'm Mark Elliott. A very busy day for sure. We've had widespread tornado watches, now tornado warnings. So thanks for sticking with us. We're going to be with you for the next 4 hours. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes is in-house as well. You'll hear from him as these tornadoes continue their march towards the east.
All right, so let's update you on what's happening currently because there's a lot of active weather out there, a lot of warnings as well. New Orleans taking one on the chin right now. The strongest storms have come past Jackson, but numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, numerous tornado warnings.
I'm going to jump in. Mike's having some mic trouble. So here's New Orleans. We continue to follow some big-time storms coming through. The heavy rain is basically just entering the New Orleans area right now. We've got some lightning strikes that are going to be knocking on your doorstep. If you're in the French Quarter, for example, we continue to have that potential for more active weather. Let's go a little bit further north, right? Here come the tornado warnings for you. This is the I-12 corridor. You're right east of I-55. Let me switch sides for you so you can actually see those counties. We're watching both of these areas for that potential for tornadic activity. It goes until 4:15. These storms are basically in the line of storms that are pumping their way towards the east. They're not supercell thunderstorms, but we've got these distinct kinks in the lines. You see where the wind is kind of curling its way back. So right over Franklinton right now is one of the areas of concern. We also have this area, this kink in the line right in here, creating some concern. And so Washington Parish, I think I said county earlier, I apologize for that, including the city of Angie, watching those storms headed towards you. These storms are racing their way towards the east. We've got that potential for very strong winds as just keeping the forward motion of the storms. You could have 50-mile-per-hour winds. And then you add the rotating component into that as well. So very difficult conditions. Some of the timing on the map for you, Jenkins, Pines, Sandy Hook, Varnado. If you're in these areas, that tornado potentially is coming your way. Now, this one to the west has been dropped, kind of continued by the ones we just talked about. So these storms are progressing. The National Weather Service offices are kind of following along, right? They're just watching these storms move a little bit further towards the east. Right now, in that big broken line of storms, it's about to get towards Hattiesburg, but we're going to skip over that area because it's for now just a severe thunderstorm warning. If a tornado warning comes there, we'll get to that as well. Now we're on the Mississippi side, the I-20 corridor. We're heading towards Philadelphia. Look at this push, right? You can feel this whole storm circulating, and this is a classic formation. Big push of wind going this way, west to east. That wind wraps back around, and in that big come ahead, we now have a potential tornado. So we've got one of the hook signatures right in here. Big surge of wind forward here. Potential rotation on that hook as well. Basically, on that push, I should say. Basically, anywhere in that big surge of wind, we've got that potential to have a tornado along that line, kind of the gustnado, that gust front, and then you have that big curl back as well. So this whole area has been covered in tornado warnings. It's Newton County. Watch out as this could have widespread straight line winds. It's going right down I-20. We want to go out into the field where our own Reynolds Wolf is standing by as we are watching these storms that could eventually get into Alabama. So that's where we find Reynolds now.
Yeah, I was just chatting with our great field producer, Jay Barron, a second ago about the expiration of the watches for parts of Alabama that are just painted that mustard yellow across parts of the map for central and south Alabama, southwestern Alabama. Tornado watch until 11 o'clock. The thing to remember, folks, is now is the time to go ahead and make that plan. You don't wait until the last second. You make a plan in your head. You think, okay, so if we have tornadoes in our area, our family, the kids, our neighbors, we need to go here to this spot. The spot should be the lowest floor of any structure you happen to be. If you're not in a mobile home, nothing wrong with mobile homes, but however, when it comes to this kind of weather, they just can't stand the ferocity, the strength of some of these winds. So try to find a stronger place. Go visit some relatives. If you are someone who has one of those homes that is a bit stronger, made of brick, made of something stronger, have folks come over. Again, basement, root cellar, or if you have a storm cellar, hey, the place has already been decided for you. Alabama, an amazing state, home to some 4.9 million people. And where we happen to be in Birmingham, Alabama, it's home to 1.1 million people. This is a steel town by history. And right now you see some white to steel gray in the skies above. The last bit that we've been here for the last 20, 30 minutes, a couple things we've noticed, the development of more of that cloud cover. So
All right, so we were listening into Reynolds. As you can tell, we're having some communication issues, whether it's mics in the studio or mics in the field. We're going to try our best to continue to get back to Reynolds and fix all the audio issues. Just stick with us, guys. I know it's a busy afternoon for so many of you, and we're trying to give you as much of the updated information as we can. Mike, back now, hopefully with a microphone that people can actually hear you with.
Thank you for your patience, folks, but we want to update you certainly on what's happening here with the tornado watch, in fact, including places like Meridian, Mississippi, Columbus, near Birmingham. Those storms we think are going to get in there later tonight and just outside of Montgomery, but then all the way down to Mobile and Pensacola. You've got a tornado risk that's going to last until 11 o'clock this evening.
Would not surprise me if we get watches extended further north and further east from here. I mean, the environment is still going to be favorable well into the overnight hours. That includes Birmingham, Huntsville, Atlanta, Macon, Tallahassee. You will likely all have the potential for severe weather tonight.
All right, our Tevin Wooten following it for us this afternoon as well. Going to keep you up to date on what's happening out there and keeping an eye on the sky there, Tevin.
Yeah, Mike and Mark, we have our eyes on the sky. We've got boots on the ground, and right now we have rainfall coming through. High winds also coming through, gusts between 30 and 35 miles an hour so far over the past perhaps 25 to 30 minutes. So we're starting to get in on some of the heavier rainfall and some of the steadier rainfall that we've seen all day as well. Other than what we're seeing right now, we've had a few isolated showers here or there, perhaps an hour to an hour and a half ago. But again, now we're getting on some of the heavier rainfall, also the bit stronger cells, if you will, the stronger storms coming through. Just saw some thunder, or heard some thunder earlier, and so that lets me know that some lightning is also nearby. So we've got shelter should we need to get to it, and other people should have that shelter, those plans in place as well. Because I can tell you, downtown New Orleans is usually a hopping place, but right now as that rainfall comes in, you really see people start to scurry very quickly to get somewhere indoors or to a car, to the streetcars, to their hotels, or perhaps a casino as well, or one of the local bars throughout here. But just like you see some trying to get indoors, others are still out here, but I can tell you that the numbers have been greatly reduced since we've gone throughout time. First, you saw a steady stream of people as you saw no rainfall. Then you saw a few more showers coming through, enough to make people scared, put their jacket on and sort of scurry inside. And now we're getting on some of the heavier rainfall, and people aren't out throughout portions of downtown. Earlier today, one thing that I've been making note of here is that we saw blue sky for about 2 to 3 hours in duration, which added some instability to the atmosphere. But now, as we're getting that rain-cooled air, that's going to cool us down and bring that instability down just a bit, or just a hair, but perhaps it may be too late. That's one thing that we it's almost like a game time decision. You don't know if you put the injured quarterback in or not. That's one of those things that we kind of have to see as time goes on, how the atmosphere is responding, and if the atmosphere has been polluted from earlier thunderstorms or thick cloud covers, because now for the past 3 or 4 hours we've had overcast skies. We haven't had that sunshine, but temperatures did warm up today, right around 78 degrees, 78, 79 degrees. That's where the high temperature got. The dew points were high as well, into the 70s. I think we did break into the 70-degree dew point range. And just to give you a general idea or a feel for typically what the dew points are like on the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, you get dew points at 55. That's when you do start to get into the muggy air, you walk outside, perhaps your hair is frizzy. But anything higher than that, you will certainly feel it. You can walk outside and cut it with a knife. The air is so thick. And of course, that's something you would expect here along the Gulf Coast in New Orleans, Louisiana. You would expect plenty of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico to be in the atmosphere. And at times, the raindrops that are coming through, this is nothing compared to what we had earlier, where the raindrops are so big, they were almost tropical-like at times. So they were certainly big and flaky, if you will, and you were able to feel the moisture and the rainfall as it fell down. Some of the local schools outside of Orleans Parish, they are closed today. City government here in New Orleans closed at noon in anticipation of strong to severe thunderstorms. And the aquarium nearby, the Audubon Aquarium of the Americas, they have since closed over the past hour or so because of the threat of strong thunderstorms and high winds as well. There is a sort of a rotunda, if you will, or an area of glass throughout the museum. And so they did not want to put people in harm's way should a strong gust of wind come through, or a tornado perhaps, or even a water spout perhaps come through and break some of those windows. They did not want people exposed to that, and understandably so. So they did evacuate people out of that earlier today, so they would not be in harm's way. As of right now, though, in downtown Louisiana, again, downtown New Orleans, Louisiana, the Harris Casino right behind me, the winds are still gusting. I'm looking at the flags continuing to wave. They have not let up all afternoon long here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We are under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. So what does that mean? A watch? Be on alert. The threat is certainly there. The conditions are ripe for a tornado. A warning, that's your next level up, be it a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. So in the hierarchy of things, severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado watch, and then tornado warning. There's also a particularly dangerous situation where we know that there's a confirmed or a large and confirmed tornado on the ground. We have seen confirmed tornadoes, not here in Orleans Parish, but we have seen those in portions of Jackson, Mississippi as well. So we're monitoring a large swath of dangerous weather moving through portions of the Mid-South and the Gulf Coast. Let's get back into the studio. Mark, Mike.
All right, that is our Tevin Woohees live right now in New Orleans. You can see another big storm system about to come right into the Crescent City here momentarily.
Yeah, the rain picked up there already, as you could see in that live picture, but the lightning is waiting in the wings. So, Tevin, be safe out there for sure. Speaking of waiting in the wings, these storms are all going further east. Let's try to go back out into Alabama now, where Reynolds Wolf is standing by in Birmingham. Still reasonably quiet in Birmingham for the moment, although right at the Alabama-Mississippi border, we've got all kinds of warnings. So, Reynolds, dangerous weather headed your way.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's all about transitions when you think about it. Earlier this afternoon, in Birmingham, struck up a conversation, had the question that was posed to me, is what we are dealing with, is the scenario unusual? And I told them absolutely not. In fact, 25 years ago, I started my career in Northeast Alabama covering a tornado that hit Piedmont, Alabama, with great destruction, with loss of life. So it's not unusual. And in the field of meteorology, we often compare and contrast what's happened in the past, apply it to the present, and often use it for what could happen in the future. And looking back in more recent history, you think about what happened in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and
all right, again, obviously still having some audio troubles with Reynolds. We're going to troubleshoot those. We're going to get back to Alabama as soon as we can. Mike, let's go through some of the areas that are in immediate danger with these tornado warnings, with these huge surges of wind coming through.
All right, we're taking you down to Mississippi now, okay? We take you to Tangipahoa and Washington counties here. This is getting really near Bogalusa, north of Bogalusa up toward Columbia. Here, numerous tornado warnings in effect.
Yeah, so northern Louisiana, southern Mississippi. It's right on the border there.
Let's take you then through the next one, Washington County. So if you're in Washington Parish and then Waltall County here, if you're in Angie, I want you to take this storm system very, very seriously. The possibility of even rain-wrapped tornadoes forcing their way on through, not to mention significant rain. So flooding is going to be another major concern that accompanies all these severe storms.
I mean, it's just unbelievable the amount of rain that's coming with these storms. Hattiesburg is about to have a big push of wind come your way. No rotating wind, but still a severe thunderstorm. And we've seen damage today because of these severe thunderstorm warnings. Newton County, this is now north of I-20. That's in that big come-ahead area, right? This big push of wind. So potential tornadoes on the leading flank of the wind that's moving forward, and potential tornadoes in the wraparound come-ahead of this thing.
Just see look at the spin.
The whole thing is spinning.
If you're on the front side of that, that's the business side for sure. So a place like Philadelphia, you can have some really significant weather, but really heavy rain on the back side of that. When you take a look at the counties impacted, we're going to have a place like Newton County under a tornado warning. You might get little individual spins within some of these outflows here and some of these big gust fronts that swing on through. So wouldn't be surprised to see some brief spin-ups, especially on the northern side of a lot of these bow echoes.
Yeah, this is a classic signature, but kind of in the like the steroid way, right? It's a massive. This is a massive push of wind. Some of these readings here, right? As if you could even query what the wind speeds are, just in the straight line winds, even behind the thunderstorms, are starting to get into that 50, 60, 70 mile per hour range. So let's time out that first push of wind that could have embedded tornadoes on that front edge of the circulation. If you're in Meridian, for example, plowing through you in about 20 minutes.
Then you get to a place like York or Livingston, about 5:01, 5:10 local time. Demopolis, about a 5:33. All these places, find a place to go. Is that your basement? You have a basement. If you don't, lowest level of your home and in an interior room, okay? And you've got a little bit of time here. A place like Demopolis, you've got another maybe 20 minutes or so, okay? So what you want to do is maybe you actually get more than an hour even. You can actually, while the weather's nice now, saying, okay, I live in a mobile home, I'm not safe here. Where can I go? Can I find a neighbor or someplace that has a well-built home that offers me more shelter? Think about going there.
Absolutely. You have the luxury of time if you're out to the east. That includes all of the rest of Mississippi into Alabama. There will be storms tonight, so think about your plan now. Here's the Hattiesburg storm. We've been talking about this. This is the I-59 corridor. These winds that are coming with this storm are going to blast through perpendicular to the highway. High-profile vehicles got to watch out for this situation because it is going to be a nasty, nasty wind event as those storms move through. Could go right through Hattiesburg in about 20 minutes or so and then continue to the east from there.
It's just incredible how much strength and potency this storm line has. So that'll come across 59. Waynesboro, we're likely to be hit around 5:04 local time. In McLean, around 5:18. You've got a little bit of time. Watch these storms closely, but be prepared now to go to a safe location as soon as the warning is issued for your location.
So here's the deal, guys. We've got busy weather for the rest of this evening into the overnight hours. We're here with you in studio, as is Dr. Forbes. In the field, a couple of reporters as well.
That's right. We've got Tevin Wood and we've got Reynolds Wolf out there. Stick around. Coming back with Dr. Forbes right after this.
Stouffer's lasagna with meat and sauce has 2 times the beef of the leading meat sauce lasagna. That's double the tender ground beef baked into every cheesy, mouth-watering bite. When it comes to irresistible taste, more is always more. Stouffer's.
So you're open all day, every day?
That's what 24/7 means, sugar.
Kind of like how you get 24/7 access to licensed agents with Geico. Yeah, you just go online, give them a call anytime.
You don't say.
Yep. Now, what will it take to get 24/7 access to that lemon meringue pie?
Pie's coming.
That's what it takes, baby.
Geico. Great service from licensed agents 24/7.
Oh, Eric. I didn't know you were with the UPS store.
Yeah. We printed that sign.
I thought you just did shipping.
Oh, no. We do printing, packing, notarizing, faxing, shredding, mailboxing, taping, laminating, consulting, trading, designing, returning, and, of course, shipping.
I can't feel my legs. I should really get him home.
From printing to packing to mailboxing, go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
This is Dyson's latest vacuum. Its V11 motor delivers more suction power than most corded vacuums. A battery-saving trigger preserves battery life. A high-torque motor directly drives the brush bar. Carbon fiber filaments remove fine dust, and stiff nylon bristles dig deep into carpet.
It's got twice the suction of any other cord-free vacuum.
It makes deep cleaning so easy.
Coors Light is cold filtered for brightness and clarity. The world's most refreshing beer, Coors Light.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
This is Kate.
Hey.
She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance. But she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
Hey, look. They got one of those purple mattresses. I've heard about these. It's supposed to sleep cool, and it's specially designed to cradle your pressure points. Huh? Freeze!
Join Liana Brackett.
And here we go.
Paul Goodlow.
If you like that, I got more on the way.
And Dr. Greg Postel. Weekend mornings starting at 9 on Weekend Recharge.
Welcome back to continuing coverage right here on the Weather Channel. We are staying with you live through the evening hours and right on into the night so that we can keep you ahead of some very dangerous storms that are basically plowing through Mississippi, northern Louisiana right now, eventually getting into the Florida Panhandle, into Alabama, and then continuing into Georgia overnight tonight. Let's start right here. This is the I-20 corridor. We are in Mississippi, Philadelphia, Mississippi, mind you, counties of Leake and Neshoba, and this is a big surge of wind going west to east and a big wraparound calm ahead. Within that calm ahead, there are some hints that we may have an active tornado right now. Very difficult to pick out on that rotation. It's right in here, okay? You've got green going towards the radar, red going away. We know that it's there, partially because of the traditional mode of the radar, and you saw all that spin, but also because we've actually had a bit of a debris signature right in this area at times as well. It's right there, and just keep your eye right on this area, right? And let's go back to the traditional mode of the radar just to make sure it's raining there, okay? So this is the motion of the raindrops, and it does hint that should be rain, but we know using that correlation coefficient, checking the symmetry of the raindrops or hailstones that are in the air, that there's a dropout right in there, basically insinuating that scan to scan and pixel to pixel, these things are not staying symmetrical. It could be tumbling debris. It is why we have tornado warnings right in here. If you kind of extrapolate this part of the storm and send it on off towards the north and east, the town of Philadelphia is next in line for what could very well be a tornado. Again, Leake, Neshoba counties, this is a dangerous storm, very small part of the entire complex, and yet there could be a tornado that is barreling on through. Now let's get some of the other towns for you. On its way towards Philadelphia, it would go through Dowdville as well as Pearl River, then get to Philadelphia. Tucker and Forestdale would be next in line as that big spiral continues to make its way further towards the north and east. Widening out this radar view a bit, I know we were focusing on this storm because it very well may have a tornado, but we've had storms that have blasted through I-20. They're about to get to Meridian. There could very well be at basically any point on this big surge of wind an embedded tornado. So you get this big surge forward and these little kinks in that line could certainly have a tornado at just about any point. And you see one of those wrapping in right in here, another little kink right in here that could possibly have a tornado as well. And so when you look at that kind of surge forward and that wrap back around, it's why we have that whole zone painted in that tornado warning. Right now the tornado warning is just north of Meridian, but there is certainly more active weather south of there, little kinks in the line to the south. So you're already under a severe thunderstorm warning at any point. That may change. And so a quick look at that timing on that line, because at any point tornado warnings and brief tornado spin-ups could happen. Meridian by about 4:30, Livingston by about 5 o'clock. I know Tevin Wooten is waiting in the wings in the New Orleans area where you had a big surge of rain come through, waiting on some more substantial lightning strikes. Here's New Orleans, and we've got big storms basically on either side of the city. I guess, Tevin, that's good news for you because you're still outside, so we don't want any lightning strikes in too close to you.
Yeah, we don't want any lightning strikes too close to us here in New Orleans, and what goes for us also goes for the people that are out and about downtown New Orleans tonight. I will let you know, of course, this is a party place, and we're not just talking about parties on Bourbon Street, but in the sense of the weather, the atmosphere is sort of excited, if you will. Convective cells popping up left and right, north of here, all across portions of the Mid-South and Southeast as well. So a lot to keep track of. As for us here in New Orleans, still seeing those winds continuing to gust, perhaps 30 to 35 miles an hour. I can't wait to see what the observations come out to be like. I would imagine perhaps the highest gust so far right around 35 or 36, but we will check and verify that with the National Weather Service once they put out their hourly reports and their daily reports as well. But as for the people that have been coming in and around this area, again, with time, as the rainfall picks up, as the lightning and thunder picks up, fewer and fewer people are outside. I do see one person here getting their run in, so they're getting in their fitness, and another person probably trying to head towards the indoors as well. Buses and perhaps cars, maybe taxis or something like that, the method of travel instead of walking through this historic and this very vibrant, or what would typically be a vibrant area on a very nice Thursday, is now dampened by rainfall. So perhaps a lot of people commuting in car instead of on foot today. I was out and about yesterday, and a lot of people were talking about, oh, they had a great time at the French Quarter Festival last week. That's a major thing. And then next week, they have Jazz Fest going on, another major thing. But also, there are about 6,000 women from Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated here in downtown New Orleans, Louisiana, also having a convention. So the buzz is out that the severe weather is coming through. A lot of people are aware. But do you know how to get those warnings? Are you dependent on warnings on a cell phone? Or are you dependent on your neighbor? Perhaps a NOAA weather radio is your choice, or the TV as well. All of these different methods of communication work together to make the warning system a lot better. So don't disregard that text you might get from a friend that says, hey, you're under severe weather today. I'm just thinking about you. Go ahead and check on your neighbors, check on your family members and your relatives and friends as well. All across portions of Louisiana, we're watching that thunderstorm and strong damaging wind threat, at least for the eastern part of the state. The western part of the state, that line is starting to clear out, say near Shreveport, and slowly but surely other places in Louisiana will clear out as well. And then the threat will start to migrate towards the east and the northeast. So we are under a tornado watch here in New Orleans until 9 o'clock today. City Hall has closed midday today for the threat of strong to severe thunderstorms. Also, other schools outside of the New Orleans area either had a half day today or closed altogether, depending on where you are. However, city schools here in New Orleans did stay open today. And then we turn our attention to places in Alabama and Mississippi. So let's get back into the studio with Mark.
Thank you, Tevin. Yeah, and Tevin, be ready to go to your safe place. You're about 10, 15 minutes away from that line of lightning strikes coming right in towards the French Quarter. This big complex of thunderstorms headed your way. Not warned, but there have been 54 strikes in the past 15 minutes, and we know that every lightning strike is severe. You might not get a severe thunderstorm warning, but you got to take those seriously. The wider view showing you all kinds of storms moving through southern Louisiana. We've got warnings in northern Louisiana into Mississippi, and the threat does continue overnight. Know how you're going to get your warnings. Know how you're going to be woken up if you are planning on, going to sleep tonight in eastern Alabama into Georgia, Florida Panhandle, Tennessee Valley. We could all have storms, including severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings through the nighttime hours. Stay right here. We'll give you updates coming up.
So Kim, you going for a big Drive Safe and Save discount? Yep, using the app. I've been quite vigilant.
Sharon says step on it. The meeting started.
Okay, write her back. Dear Sharon, don't mess with my discount.
Faster, Mommy. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I do too, honey, but we're gonna hold it for Mommy's discount. Easy, easy.
But you're in labor.
Don't mess with my discount.
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save from State Farm.
Captain, there's something big ahead. There's bacon, pancakes, French toast. It's breakfast.
No, that's a breakfast from IHOP.
Attack!
Breakfast. Order online and save $5.
All the good love. Keep it up, world. Yeah, you turn me hooked on a feeling.
Six-function multi-pro tailgate. Available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Bear presents Tough as Walls.
That's some great paint.
That's some great paint.
That's some great paint. Bear Ultra, a top-rated interior and exterior paint. Paint, prime, protect, all in one. Now that's some great paint. Find it exclusively at the Home Depot.
Capital One Saver card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
I drive up, I bring people dish. I love it. Why? Because what I bring makes people go, whoa. Over 80,000 on-demand movies and shows. A voice remote that leaves them speechless. Live TV streamed instantly. And it's all getting us some pretty big awards, but my reward is that moment when I let them drive.
Wow. Ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. Dish, tuned into you.
Want to stay a little bit longer? Travelocity is there for you. Not right in the room, that'd be awkward. But you know, online, on the phone, when you realize you want to extend your stay. Travelocity. Wander wisely.
Welcome back to Weather Underground. We have active weather to follow for you tonight, including new tornado warnings that are coming out right now. I'm Storm Specialist Mark Elliott here with severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes. Dr. Forbes, we've had tornado warnings and maybe confirmed tornadoes in that big comma head at the top of this cluster, and now new warnings further south as well.
Yeah, and what you see also is yellow here, severe thunderstorm warnings. This big comma head structure bowing, surging eastward could give damaging winds, and then in the rotating comma head portion, sometimes you'll get a longer track tornado. As well as tornadoes that can occur down near the tail. Sometimes you'll get supercell thunderstorms that occur in those areas as well.
Let's go kind of south to north then. We'll start in the tail with a warning that's about to be done outside of the Bogalusa area. There was some rotation indicated here. I think it's about to kind of run out of its warning zone for Washington Parish.
Yeah, and the other thing you see is just how much rain is in these storms. So it could be hard to see some of these particular tornadoes coming, even if there's a circulation there.
Now, Hattiesburg on the Mississippi side, right over I-59. This is the newest warning for you if you've been following along with us. Forest, Jones, and Lamar heading right towards I-59.
And these storms are just flying. They're going about 55 miles per hour toward the north and east, so you don't have a whole lot of time. You do see here there's some places where greens and yellows are touching. So these are the tornado vortex signatures that we talk about, the indicators on radar of the tornadoes.
A little bit worried about Hattiesburg, because if this is the circulation right in here with the green and yellow and it's moving in this direction, I mean, Hattiesburg is next in line. What might save them is that these are generally short-lived tornadoes in this part of the storm, correct?
Yeah, they are, but the other thing is we've been getting reports of trees and power lines down also, so you might be spared the tornado, but you might have power outages even from just the thunderstorms. Taking a look here at some of the timing of this, coming toward West Hattiesburg, the Barrentown area, West Hattiesburg and Hattiesburg 435, 442.
And so this is coming towards I-59. Even without the rotating winds, it's going to go perpendicular to the highway. High-profile vehicles got to watch out for this. 50, 60, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts can't be ruled out. So as we continue our trek towards the north, now we're in that big surge forward from that east-west wind and the wrapping back around comma head heading towards Philadelphia.
Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning for Meridian, Mississippi, and just to the north of that, Kemper and Lauderdale counties with a tornado warning as we're getting closer to that surging bow echo area, with right in here to the north of Meridian probably the strongest circulations, but there are numerous places where the greens and reds are so close that you could get quick tornado spin-ups.
Basically anywhere on that surge,
anywhere,
we could have a brief tornado, and we're still following that surge coming towards Philadelphia. It doesn't look quite as impressive now, but still this area just west of Philadelphia has some of that rotation. Don't forget, this storm system moves further east. We want to go out to Alabama now, where Reynolds Wolf is standing by in Birmingham. Reynolds, you got to be ready overnight in Birmingham tonight.
Absolutely, possibly all the way into what I think 5 o'clock in the morning is when the watch actually expires. But I'll tell you guys, certainly some dangerous times. We've looked in the past. We've seen situations like this occur across parts of the Yellowhammer State in terms of tornadic activity, most recently down in Lee County, Alabama. And what's interesting about that is being there and covering that in the community. Virtually every person we spoke to had some kind of smart device. They had some kind of information that was delivered to them before the tornadoes came. The idea, though, is you have to take that knowledge and you have to apply it. You have to take action. And one of the most important things that you got to know is you have to know what your county happens to look like on a map. And if you see severe weather coming to your area, to your community, you need to take cover immediately. Lowest floor, away from outside walls and windows, it really does make a difference. And every single second matters, no doubt about it. If you happen to have, say, a storm cellar or a basement, you know you're ahead of the game. You truly are. And if you happen to have some neighbors where you have a house, they do not, you might want to reach out to them and say, come on over when things go south in terms of the rough weather. But weather seems to move across our continent for the most part, and I say this in a rudimentary sense, moving from west to east. And we are seeing this bubble up across parts of the deep south in, well, where Tevin happens to be in Louisiana. We've seen it now in Mississippi, but eventually it is moving into Alabama. We already have the tornado watch that isn't in effect until 11 o'clock tonight, but we do expect the rough weather in terms of damaging wind, gusts possibly 60 miles an hour, the development of some hail and tornadoes. We can't rule out those either. And keep in mind, this is not unusual. It's not unusual at all to see activity like this across parts of what we refer to at times as Dixie Alley. So have the plan in place. Know where to go if severe weather comes calling. We're going to stay here, of course, on the Weather Channel, giving you the very latest on this unfolding situation. It has been a dangerous day, could prove to be a dangerous set of very serious days as we roll into the holiday weekend. We've got crews that are out and about, not only where we have them out towards, say, the west, like Tevin Wooten in New Orleans, where I am in Birmingham, Alabama, but also we have other crews that are going to also be giving you more of this narrative building forward into parts farther east, back into Georgia, into the Carolinas. Full coverage continues coming up in just a few moments. You're watching the Weather Channel. Stay safe.
Ultra pure gold. Beer in its organic form.
My insurance rates are probably going to double.
But Dad, you've got...
Allstate. With accident forgiveness, they guarantee your rates won't go up just because of an accident.
Smart kid.
Indeed. Are you in good hands?
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The visionary Lexus NX.
Lease the 2019 NX 300 for $359 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Discover new San Pellegrino Essenza. A twist of Mediterranean flavors with the gentle bubbles of San Pellegrino. Add a twist of flavor. San Pellegrino Essenza. Tastefully Italian.
Introducing Miracle-Gro's next big thing, Performance Organics. This new organic collection of soil and plant food is what you've always wanted. No compromise, twice the results, guaranteed. Miracle-Gro Performance Organics.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ready to treat differently with a pill? Otezla. Show more of you.
Get in for lunch now at Olive Garden with lunch duos starting at $6.99. Choose a favorite like lasagna or all new pasta bowls like shrimp scampi paired with unlimited soup or salad and breadsticks. Get never-ending value for lunch at Olive Garden.
With my hepatitis C, I felt I couldn't be at my best for my family. In only 8 weeks with Maverick, I was cured and left those doubts behind.
I faced reminders of my hep C every day, but in only 8 weeks with Maverick, I was cured.
Even hanging with friends, I worried about my hep C. But in only 8 weeks with Maverick, I was cured.
Maverick is the only 8-week cure for all common types of Hep C. Before starting Maverick, your doctor will test if you've had hepatitis B, which may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV-1, or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Don't take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin, or if you've had certain liver problems. Common side effects include headache and tiredness.
With Hep C behind me, I feel free.
Fearless.
There's no looking back, because I am cured.
Talk to your doctor about Maverick.
We are back here on Severe Storm Central. I'm meteorologist Tevin Wooten joining you live from New Orleans, Louisiana, where we are starting to get in on some of the heavier bouts of rainfall, some of these stronger winds. There goes a clap of thunder as well. We are starting to see some of these strong lines of thunderstorms push through this area. I mean, right before we came on, we had a decent wind gust, perhaps 40 to maybe even 45 miles an hour. Certainly had to kind of brace yourselves to prepare for that wind that came through. But of course, a lot of people are coming through this area, and not surprisingly so. I mean, it is downtown New Orleans, Louisiana, after all. However, the rainfall is also coming through downtown, so you see people here in ponchos. And the rain occasionally, as it comes through with a gust of wind, it comes through with a nice curtain-like feel almost, and you can kind of see the sheet of rainfall push across the way with a gust of wind. You see it push across the ground and onto the roadway as well. And speaking of roadway, those are starting to take on more and more moisture, more and more rainfall that comes through. So don't be surprised if you see some sort of street flooding or ponding on the roadways. That's another element to this entire equation you've got to take into consideration here. So if you're driving, not just here in New Orleans, Louisiana, but anywhere where this potent line of storms will go through, you will have to keep that in mind. So it's not just the tornado threat. That's one thing we're watching. We're watching the lightning. We're watching the damaging winds. We're watching the flooding. It's just a laundry list of things that we have to take into account today, tonight. By the way, have a way to get those warnings overnight. You certainly want to be alerted to a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning should that come through your area overnight tonight. So perhaps have the shoes by the bedside, have that severe weather plan in place should you need it. But even into portions of Friday, still, this line of thunderstorms doesn't stop. It pushes its way towards the eastern seaboard and along up and down the East Coast. So that's another area, say, for the coastal Carolina area. You should be on guard for your Friday. But we're still watching today, Mark. Let's get into the studio with you and Dr. Forbes to see what are you guys looking at right now.
Yeah, that's right, Tevin. It's been an active afternoon. It continues to be so right now. And you're right, the threat goes through the night all the way through tomorrow. Dr. Forbes, New Orleans has some thunderstorms moving through very quickly.
Yeah, these storms are flying 55 miles per hour. So this initial round, the lightning part of it, the worst threat is almost over. But I think there may be another round yet tonight with a cold front that comes into the New Orleans area. You see back there, still back near Baton Rouge and west of Morgan City, additional thunderstorms. So this round is almost done for New Orleans, but we're not totally done yet for the night.
And there has been some flash flooding reported because the front is still all the way back here.
The cold front's way back near Shreveport.
Each round of rain has kicked off, the potential for some flooding. Going back into that first surge now into southern and even central Mississippi, everyone gets a severe thunderstorm warning, embedded within it tornado warning potential.
Yeah, and this part of the line is almost moving along itself, so you can get flash flooding as well, including now a tornado warning that's included in that line for the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area. So we have a tornado warning there for Forest, Jones, and Lamar counties, as one of the storms embedded in that line has some pretty strong rotation. You can see some of that broad rotation everywhere, pretty much along the leading edge of that line of thunderstorms.
And so at basically any point along this where the reds and greens are right next to each other over this whole zone, there could be a tornado that forms that includes right near Hattiesburg. It could include just south of there as well. A dangerous storm because you're not going to get a lot of notice, right? It's just
that's right. All that green is the ambient inflow, the southeast flow, and then the reds are the thunderstorm-related downdraft air that's surging forward.
I mean, this is not something that you can wait for visual confirmation. It's surrounded by rain. It's moving very quickly. If you're under a warning, take it seriously tonight.
Yeah, let's push then off farther to the north and take a look at the rest of this. This part of the line, this big surge, is at the rate it's going, could get into the Birmingham area an hour and a half, 2 hours from now. Right at the moment, it is just north of Meridian with Kemper and Lauderdale counties having a tornado warning. Look at the curly cues in here. So these are the kind of circulations that can give tornadoes, both on the backside of the line as well as some of those circulations that sometimes will occur on the leading edge of the line. Right now, the biggest circulation is just to the south of DeKalb in Mississippi.
Yeah, and it's head towards State Route 45, almost paralleling 20 at this point, although I do think it gets closer to the highway a little bit further towards the east. We're still watching some circulation near Philadelphia, which earlier had a confirmed tornado and a debris signature.
Yeah, you're seeing this big, broad area of greens. That's the prevailing inflow to the north side of this rotating comma head cloud, with the areas in here in red where some of that real strong wind is surging forward with these fast-moving line of thunderstorms that right now is near and north of Meridian up to the Philadelphia, Mississippi area.
You're looking at Birmingham now, right behind Dr. Forbes. Just a huge surge of precip coming towards Birmingham.
And the leading edge of these storms only about less than 90 miles away, I believe it is at this point. And so at 55 miles per hour, it's coming in there pretty quick, 6:04 Central Time. But once the storms get in there, you have all of this big shield of heavy rain behind that. So there's a leading probably danger area, and then probably about 2 hours of heavy rain. So there could be flash flood issues, especially in some of the low-lying flood-prone areas as well.
With the front lingering well back to the west, any chance that that next line also intensifies a little bit, or do you think this is scouring out the atmosphere now?
Well, I think this will be the main threat, but it's not zero behind that, but certainly a lot less.
A lot to follow. We'll be right back with more.
How safe is the car you're considering? The 2019 Subaru Outback is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. The Honda CR-V is not. Sorry, Honda. Which SUV would make the best investment? The Subaru Outback has the best resale value in its class for 2019, according to Kelley Blue Book. Even better than the Toyota RAV4. Sorry, Toyota. It's easy to love a Subaru.
What makes DiGiorno Crispy Pan Pizza different than delivery?
Pan, 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 pan.
Pan, pan, pan. You bake it fresh in its own pan, giving our DiGiorno pizza a crispy, caramelized crust. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Try Drive Up at Target. Delivered to your car door so you can do more. More splash. More style. More smile. Target run and done.
This is Dyson's latest vacuum. Its V11 motor delivers more suction power than most corded vacuums. A battery-saving trigger preserves battery life. A high-torque motor directly drives the brush bar. Carbon fiber filaments remove fine dust, and stiff nylon bristles dig deep into carpet.
It's got twice the suction of any other cord-free vacuum.
It makes deep cleaning so easy.
And Doug.
Look, Limu, a civilian buying a new car. Let's go.
Limu's right. Liberty Mutual could save you money by customizing your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, yeah, I've been a customer for years.
Huh.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What's for dinner? Oh!
It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest. Kraft for the win-win.
Lower carbs. Lower calories. Higher expectations. The light beer you've been waiting for has arrived. Corona Premier.
Are you or a loved one between the ages of 50 to 80 years old? If you are younger than 80 years old, do you receive Social Security, disability, or Medicare? If you answered yes, you may qualify for $30,000 in funeral insurance for only pennies a day. The average funeral costs around $11,000, and Social Security only pays $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the balance. Call now to see if you qualify for $30,000 in funeral expense coverage from Senior Legacy Life. Your rate will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and there is no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing disease or illness. Don't be a financial burden to your family. Lock in your rate by completing an application over the phone right now. Will you qualify for funeral insurance up to $30,000 for only pennies a day?
Find out by calling Senior Legacy Life at 1-800-600-8884. That's 1-800-600-8884. 1-800-600-8884.
This winter, save your Sunday nights for the Weather Channel. Catch an all-new Highway Through Hell, Sundays at 8 on the Weather Channel.
All right, welcome back into Severe Storm Central. A dangerous day on tap for Dixie Alley. I'm meteorologist Tevin Woon, joining you live from New Orleans, Louisiana, a huge town, vibrant, very cultural, diverse, and very fluid, but also known for its party. Not on Bourbon Street today, but the party's coming from the sky. That's right, we're talking about rain. We're talking about thunder and lightning, and perhaps a few severe thunderstorms as well. Within the past 15 to 20 minutes or so, we've started to notice sort of a decline, if you will, in some of the stronger wind gusts. So we've started to see things become on the uptick, if you will. However, I would not let my guard down if you are in the New Orleans area because of the lightning threat that is still here. And also back towards Baton Rouge, that's where we're seeing that wraparound moisture come through. So still, even though they're done with the main line of storms, that wraparound moisture comes through and you've got another severe weather threat on your hands in terms of damaging wind gusts. I just saw another bolt of lightning perhaps off in the distance right above the Mississippi River. There were some riverboat cruises going out and about, also a carnival cruise getting out of here as well. So hopefully they were able to get out of harm's way before the severe weather rolled through. Speaking of harm's way, for those out and about here in downtown New Orleans, Louisiana, people have the ponchos, they've got the rain jackets. It looks like, though, for now, most everyone is sort of staying indoors under verandas, if you will, perhaps going into the Harris and playing a couple of slot machines there, going through downtown, hanging by a couple of bars, somewhere indoors, shielded from the rain, shielded from the lightning and the thunderstorm activity that perhaps would be here. So we can't let our guard down, even though we've started to see the winds die down, which is certainly huge because we had a wind gust perhaps 15, 20 minutes ago, right around 40 to 45 miles an hour. Speaking of, the grounds are saturated. That could bring down a tree or two, cause some power outages. We've got about 70,000 outages between the state of Mississippi and Louisiana as well. So it's likely some of those numbers will go down, but perhaps throughout portions of the afternoon mark, some of those numbers, as you know, will go right back up.
Absolutely. We're following several rounds of storms that could impact the New Orleans area, right, where Tevin has been reporting from. And then, of course, we've got all these zones off to the east. Here with severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes. Dr. Forbes, we've got this huge surge of dangerous weather moving eastbound now.
Yeah, this has been the real troublemaker as it's come all the way across Mississippi, now heading into Alabama with damaging winds up the backward sea part of the Bow Echo, and with the strong rotation there, you see in red tornado warnings in the crest as well as down near the tail. So let's, in about an hour and a half, heading toward the Birmingham area. Let's take a look at some of these tornado warnings. They're all Doppler indicated at the moment, but right around the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area, we have tornado warning in effect for Forrest and Jones counties. All of these storms moving very quickly, 55 miles per hour. So you'll need to be seeking shelter very quickly. And with all this rain out ahead of them, don't wait to see the tornado. Act based upon the warning and go to your safe place.
We're putting the timing up on the screen for you, so if you're in any of these cities, like in the Richton area, in the State Line region, timing on the screen for you. Dr. Forbes, speaking of all that rain out ahead of it, the signatures are still going kind of south to north and then colliding. These cell mergers are happening along the main line.
Yeah, and that's a good signification of the wind shear. So this is some of that very fast southerly flow out ahead of that is providing some of the wind shear. The big storm system then is being driven by some faster winds aloft that are pushing it, and that combination of winds at two different levels are what are causing the rotation source for the possible tornadoes, which here we see up in the Kemper and Lauderdale counties, up to the north of Meridian, with some pretty well-defined circulations embedded in that line, sort of mini bow echoes, mini commas within this broader comma.
Yeah, this is the best one right in here.
Yeah, right there, very well, just to the near and just to the north of DeKalb, Mississippi, heading up toward Highway 45 and near the Scuba area, with a possibility of a tornado, a pretty distinct possibility, I would say.
Although luckily no clear indication at this very moment that there's debris being lofted into the air, but that thing tightens up just a little bit further, gets down to the surface, we could have a tornado there at any point.
Yeah, and sometimes the debris is a little bit below the radar scan as well. Taking a look here, the severe threat is likely to get into the Atlanta area around 2 or 3 in the morning, and may have thunderstorms even into past sunrise. The storms tonight also perhaps up across Tennessee and into southern parts of Kentucky, and tomorrow, wow, now the newest forecast, a severe threat all the way up into Pennsylvania, into Baltimore and Washington, and by evening, all the way across the coast and all the way through Florida Peninsula.
So after the cities through Mississippi get run through by this storm system, it goes into Alabama, goes right up I-20 to Birmingham. Want to check in with Reynolds Wolf, who's there. Reynolds, what's it feel like out there? Does it feel like a severe storm day where you can just feel the heat and humidity right now?
You know, some people may be tuning in and saying, what is he talking about? Mark, I know exactly what you're talking about. What you mean is does the air feel effervescent? Does it feel bubbly? Does it feel like it's got a lot of mugginess and breeziness to it? It does both. Kind of mild, all things to be considered. But we have seen quite a bit of change. Right now, sure enough, on cue, as I'm talking to you, the wind is beginning to pick up a little bit. You might see it reflected a little bit in the trees. The skies go from a little bit of like an opaque view to more of slate gray, kind of transitions. But the big transition that we can expect as we roll forward, more cloud cover, the rain comes in with it, possibly some hail, definitely some wind that could be strong. In fact, gusts possibly approaching 60 miles an hour. But one of the biggest issues, of course, is the potential that may become a reality of tornadic activity. So knowing that that is something that we may be dealing with down the line, what you deal with at the forefront is make a plan. Make a plan that will include yourself, your family, your community. For the kids, I'll tell you what, if you happen to live in a house that you have a basement, you've got a tell you what, maybe a night where you grab the kids, you say, hey, let's go down and sleep downstairs in the basement. Let's make a just kind of not like a game of it, but certainly just a safer measure, because it really can make the difference. So many times when we've seen these tornadic events unfold, a mere second can make a tremendous difference between the life and death of an individual. So go ahead and make those steps right now, so that if you do have a warning, if you do have some action that of rough weather that is occurring in your neighborhood, you're not waiting to the last second. You've gone ahead and you've made those preventative measures. You've done all the right things. So that's the thing. And once you do that, just stay in place, keep it here on the Weather Channel. We'll keep you up to speed, because this is a system that's going to be affecting millions of people, no question about it. This is moving its way across the country. You don't move anywhere at all, folks. The very latest information coming up right here on the Weather Channel. Stay safe and keep listening.
Moving. That's harder now because of psoriatic arthritis, but you're still moved by moments like this. Don't let psoriatic arthritis take them away. Taltz reduces joint pain and stiffness and helps stop the progression of joint damage. For people with moderate to severe psoriasis, 90% saw significant improvement. Taltz even gives you a chance at completely clear skin. Don't use if you're allergic to Taltz. Before starting, you should be checked for tuberculosis. Taltz may increase risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, symptoms, or received a vaccine or plan to. Inflammatory bowel disease can happen with Taltz, including worsening of symptoms. Serious allergic reactions can occur. For all the things that move you, ask your doctor about Taltz.
I drive up, I bring people dish. I love it. Why? Because what I bring makes people go, whoa. Over 80,000 on-demand movies and shows. A voice remote that leaves them speechless. Live TV streamed instantly. And it's all getting us some pretty big awards, but my reward is that moment when I let them drive.
Wow. Ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. Dish, tuned into you.
It's just 1 minute. Nico, it's just one raindrop.
It's just 1/10 from pole position. Just 1 second off first place.
No thanks.
Come on, Nico, it's just one beer.
I'm still driving.
Bear presents Outdone Yourself. Staining be done and stay done through every season.
Done. Done. Done, 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 done.
Bear semi-transparent stain. Overall, #1 rated. Stay done for years to come. Find it exclusively at the Home Depot.
I don't keep track of regrets, and I don't add up the years. But what I do count on is Boost.
Delicious Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink has 20 grams of protein, along with 26 essential vitamins and minerals. Boost High Protein. Be up for life.
So, Kim, you going for a big Drive Safe and Save discount? Yep. Using the app? I've been quite vigilant.
Sharon says step on it. The meeting started.
Okay, write her back. Dear Sharon, don't mess with my discount. Faster, Mommy. I gotta go to the bathroom. I do too, honey, but we're gonna hold it for Mommy's discount. Easy, easy.
But you're in labor.
Don't mess with my discount.
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save from State Farm.
You're watching Weather Underground, our extended coverage here of severe weather. Mike Bettis alongside Dr. Greg Forbes. Reynolds Wolf going to join us in just a moment from Birmingham. Obviously on the radar, Dr. Forbes, we've got a lot going on here, in particular in Mississippi. These storms about to charge into Alabama.
Yeah, and some of these tornadoes have been dangerous. We've had reports of homes destroyed near Morton and Scott County earlier this afternoon. A couple of tornado warnings here near this big rotating comma head of this big thunderstorm cluster.